The mine that we have is a unique place. We have enough material for years and years and years and able to help generation after generation. It's in a location where we can get to it.
We're in Utah, which is known as the mineral state, and I'm with Dave Taylor. Longevity gets all its raw materials for its plant-derived minerals from Dave. So Dave, why don't you kind of explain to us what we're looking here at the wall?
This is a deposit of plant materials, big, rich, thick brown band that's up there. That was a deciduous forest, and that's way cool stuff to really mess with because you can just open it up and just look at and see all the plants.
When you go up and you hold the material in your hands, it almost reminds you of a tree because you can see each year's layer.
You know, you imagine the nutrition you have in that. Well, I mean, you can just, the mineral just bites right out of it.
The ones I like to talk about are mineral deficiencies because they make up 2/3 of the essential nutrients. Our bodies cannot manufacture them. We must consume them every day, either as food or as supplements.
What I'd like to see happen, where everybody around the world recognizes that nutrition is so important.
So we've all heard about Dr. Wallach talk about minerals, and we all know that they're important, but I always like to phrase it, they're kind of like cofactors. They help hundreds of thousands of different functions happen within your body. So the key thing is about taking our plant-derived minerals or products that have our plant-derived minerals, we can be assured that we're getting all 60 essential nutrients.
When we talk about humic shale, people always think shale, well, isn't that rock? And I like to phrase it a different way. It's a million-year-old compost pile that has never had enough pressure on it to turn into coal. So it's still an organic plant material.
If you took that much decomposed material and all the minerals and everything that are in it, I mean, how much would you have to eat in order to take and get that mineral content?
When Doc had his practice in Portland, Oregon, he was having his patients taking 30 and 40 pills, you know, to get all his 90 essential nutrients.
A bottle with calcium in it, here's a bottle with magnesium in it, here's a bottle with iron in it, and so you're going to have 60 different bottles. It was, cumbersome. The humic shale saved us from having 60 different bottles. Everybody's got to take the 90, and the core of that is the humic shale.
Step one is obviously get the material here, and they bring the material out by mining techniques. And we take it down to the first processing facility. So what we have here, one of the things I want to point out, if you remember when you were looking at the wall, it looked like it was different colors all the way up and down. Each inch, or what, 30 centimeters, equals about 80 years. And during the course of time, certain areas have higher concentrations of certain minerals than others. So that when we mine it, we don't mine the top layer and then the next layer down and the next layer down. We actually scrape the whole front of the wall so we get even consistency in the product year in, year out. So every bottle literally has that dark stripe up high and then the tan stripes down below and then the medium stripes so that all 60 minerals are consistent. Over the 25 years that we've used this mine, we periodically do what's called a spectrogram. Doing that, we can measure the mineral content per parts per million or parts per billion. Over the 25 years, we haven't ranged 5%. What other companies do and take the top layer, the next layer down, the next layer down, they have far more variances from year to year. There is an elevator that lifts the stones up and then puts it in the tanks so that we can start this process. As simple as that. And we put it in clean food grade tanks that are sterilized, and we basically do osmosis.
If you don't understand osmosis, it's like summer tea. We take a high concentration of the humic shale and we control the temperature, barometric pressure, and time, and we're able to leach the minerals out of the humic shale and the fulvic acid into purified water.
From there, it gets put through pasteurization and immediately packaged in food-grade transport 55-gallon barrels. Talk about the testing processes you do with the product before it even leaves here.
We have it tested, mold, salmonella, listeria, and then we send samples to you. You guys pull your samples again and double check and make sure that everything's proper on your side.
From there, we take it to our various manufacturers where they either dilute it to make the plant-derived minerals, or we use the full concentration and we add more vitamins and minerals to make our various products. But when we get it from the manufacturing facility that makes humic shale, we get it at 38,000 parts per liter, 38,000 parts. The plant-derived minerals that you drink and you get in the bottle, we dilute it down to 19,000 parts per liter. Now we're going to do a little more math. There's about, we always work in America here, so we go to ounces, and I know in Japan you probably go to milliliters, but 30 milliliters contains 600 milligrams of plant-derived minerals in the liquid state. Now, when I start answering the questions later on, you'll understand why I brought this out. Key, the base of everything is the plant-derived minerals.
The more that we can stay with a natural product, I think the safer we are, and the better that we can put products together using natural components, the more effective we are at overcoming challenges. We talk about 90 for life, and everyone goes, well, how long do I have to take it? And my answer is always really easy. I go, how long do you have to breathe air? How long can you go without taking 90 essential nutrients? And that's what we're providing for you.
So some of the questions that I saw on the list was people were asking how much minerals are in the liquid, how much minerals are in the mineral caps, and how many minerals are in the mineral sticks. And the rule of thumb is they're all 600. Now, if you actually look at the mineral caps, it's 580, but you know, they're all in the same ballpark. One stick equals 30 milliliters of liquid, which equals one mineral cap. The other question was, is there any artificial flavorings in the mineral sticks? Because it seems to taste like Kool-Aid. Use cherry juice extract. Okay. We add collagen to it, which is kind of like bone tea. Always want you to have a healthy digestive system, so we put some pre-probiotics in there as well. If you think about the liquid, you go, well, how do they make it into powder? We take the liquid and we spin it until we force all the moisture away. Then we make sure that there is no bacteria, yeast, and mold by exposing it to UV light. And then we get this white powder that kind of has a pearlish glow to it. So it's an extra step, an extra expense, but if you look at it, there's 64 capsules in a mineral cap bottle, which is equal to 2 liters of minerals. So the cost per dose is about the same. The mineral sticks, however, there is what? I think there's 30 sticks in a box. They cost a little bit more because of the extra nutrients. Juice that we put in there for color is beet juice. I apologize for our government because they have strange rules, but if we say natural flavoring, we can't say beet juice. Don't ask me why. One of the other questions was asked, is it better if I take all the minerals at once in the morning, or should I spread it out during the course of the day? If you have the self-discipline to make sure that you take it during the course of the day, taking a little bit with each meal is better. If you find yourself missing too many, then take it all for breakfast. If I come over, I'll bring some of the humic shale powder so that you can taste it. Because if you tasted it unflavored, you wouldn't want to take it. So if you really want to see what it tastes like before that, get a bottle of the mineral caps and open up the capsules and taste it. You got to remember, ours has 600 milligrams of dissolved solids for every 30 milliliters. Typically, when you get those bottles in the store, they might have 10. Sometimes I think they advertise mineral water to give them a niche to sell their product. We create plant-derived minerals to make sure you get the minerals. Also, ours are certified organic. One of the most common minerals in our product is sulfur, and a lot of the minerals will bond to sulfur, and because of that, it doesn't store in fat. So you can take 2 to 3 times the dose every day and still not get to toxicity. Domo arigato.